A foreign fighter dives low over U.S. Navy ships. A missile flashes. 2 American Tomcats answer. Seconds decide law, pride, and survival above the Gulf of Sidra as radios crackle. In the early 1980s, Libya drew a hard red line across the Gulf of Sidra at latitude 30°30 EN and called it the Line of Death. Cross it, Tripoli warned, and you'd be treated as an intruder. International law didn't agree. Most nations recognized only a 12 nautical mile territorial sea, not an entire gulf. So Washington did what it often does when a claim looks excessive. It sent ships and jets to physically test the claim. On August 19, 1981, 2 U.S. carrier groups, USS Nimitz and USS Forrestal, were operating south of that line, running exercises to make the point. The sea and air above it are international. The message wasn't subtle. E-2C radar planes orbited to control the air picture. F-14 Tomcats cycled on and off combat air patrol. For the Libyan leadership, letting that go uncontested would look like weakness. For the U.S., backing down would invite similar claims elsewhere. That day's stakes stacked fast. Sovereignty versus maritime law, reputation versus restraint, and a hair-trigger rules of engagement problem. Because once weapons come out, the legal debate stops and pilot survival takes over. High over a steel blue sea, 2 F-14A Tomcats from VF-41. Black Aces, call signs Fast Eagle 102 and Fast Eagle 107, cycle on combat air patrol. Their lifeline is an E-2C Hawkeye orbiting farther out, knitting the radar picture and voice comms. Each Tomcat carries AIM-9 Sidewinders for close-in work and AIM-7 Sparrows for beyond visual range shots. From the Libyan side, 2 Sukhoi Su-22 fitters lift from the Sirte area, armed with AA-2 Atoll heat seekers. Their doctrine favors head-on intimidation passes, close, fast, decisive. Below, 2 U.S. carrier groups, USS Nimitz and USS Forrestal, are running events that make the sky busy. Launches, recoveries, missile shoots. Hundreds of sailors, dozens of controllers, one crowded chessboard. Any mistake today will happen at supersonic speed. Morning, August 19, 1981. Fast Eagle 102 and 107 are cruising a racetrack pattern when the E-2C calls an unknown pair pushing fast from the south. The Tomcats descend, nose cold, to take a look. Visual soon. 2 Libyan Su-22 fitters, low and head-on. Standard intercept would be identify, signal, escort. Instead, as the formations close, the Libyan lead snaps a shot. An AA-2 Atoll spitting off the rail in a frontal pass. The missile streaks through the merge and misses. That single flash flips the rulebook. Self-defense authorized. Both Tomcats crank hard into post-merge turns. Inside of seconds, heaters growl. Fast Eagle 102 takes the first shot, an AIM-9 Sidewinder that walks into the lead fitter's tailpipe. A fireball and a shoot. Fast Eagle 107 rolls to engage the wingman, squeezes, and another Sidewinder leaves a white corkscrew. Hit. Second. Fitter falls away, also reportedly with an ejection. No American jets or ships are hit. The radios are clipped and calm. Target destroyed, fuel state, picture clean. Controllers task the Tomcats to sanitize the area. Any rescue attempt would cross into a hornet's nest of U.S. radar and missiles. Sea spray glitters under the fight. Minutes later, Libyan MiG-25 sprint out high and fast, testing the edge. Interceptors rise to meet them, and the Foxbats turn back before weapons parameters ever line up. On deck, operations continue. The point proven. The U.S. will fly where international law allows, and it will answer if fired upon. What no one can yet answer is who told the Libyan pilot to shoot, and why that day. Libya drew a straight boundary, 32°30 N, across the Gulf of Sidra, and warned that crossing it meant combat. International practice recognized a 12 nautical mile territorial sea from the coast, not an entire gulf. So, the U.S. ran freedom of navigation flights and sails south of that line to dispute the claim. Rules of engagement, ROE, matter because they translate policy into pilot decisions. In 1981, ROE allowed self-defense when hostile intent or a hostile act was confirmed. A missile launch is the clearest hostile act. Once the Su-22 fired, the Tomcats were legally and tactically green to shoot. Standard operating procedure for peacetime intercepts. Approach on a deconflicted line. Identify, signal with wings, lighting. Avoid sudden merges, and pass the contact to controllers. It's choreography meant to keep hot steel cold. What happened here broke that rhythm. The Libyan lead executed a frontal shot, tactically risky with older heat seekers, but psychologically aggressive. That single move erased all the escort and deter options. The Tomcats flipped to defend and neutralize, prioritizing geometry, missile tone, and separation from the second bandit. Result: the intercept condensed from a multi-step escort into a seconds-long knife fight, exactly what SOP tries to prevent. It wasn't about bravado, it was ROE and survival under a suddenly hostile sky. Official US accounts say the sequence was clear. Libya fired first, Americans returned fire, no US losses. Many Western analysts agree, citing radar, Chahar control logs, and pilot debriefs. Libyan messaging at the time contested pieces of that story, suggesting US provocation, or even implying an American loss. Those claims didn't come with public evidence, but they fed regional narratives about sovereignty and Western pressure. There's also debate about intent. Some veterans describe the F-14 profile as designed to draw a reaction, not to shoot, but to document overreach on the world stage. That can sound like bait. It's more precise to call it deliberate, visible testing. If your claim is the whole Gulf, the US will fly a line through it and record what happens. Even smaller details diverge. Some sources say both Libyan pilots ejected and survived. Others report at least one fatality. Without a public primary Libyan loss report, that remains unconfirmed. For this piece, we hold to what's documented. The launch came from the Su-22. 2 Sidewinders killed 2 fitters. No US aircraft or ships were hit. AIM-9 Sidewinder, then current variants. Short-range, infrared seeker, relatively quick lock, and good agility after the merge. It excelled when shooters could get behind a hot exhaust or pull enough lead for a tone. AA-2 Atoll, broadly Sidewinder-like in concept, but in early marks with narrower seeker limits and less forgiving launch geometry. A head-on shot with limited off-bore sight is a low-percentage gamble, especially if the target is not in full afterburner. In this fight, the Atoll missed through the merge. The Tomcats then created high-probability rear-quarter shots and scored. The shoot-down did more than end one intercept. It hardened the playbook. The US kept challenging claims in the Gulf of Sidra. Libya kept contesting, sometimes surging MiGs into the edge of US fighter umbrellas. The world saw that Washington would treat excessive maritime claims as tests to be run, not press releases to be ignored. The dispute resurfaced in 1986, when US forces again operated south of the line, and a larger exchange unfolded. Missiles fired from sea and air, Libyan losses mounting. By then, the 1981 incident stood as the precedent. Shoot at US jets, and the response is immediate, proportionate, and well documented. Forget the geopolitics for a moment. Picture the canopy blow, the hammer punch of ejection, the shock of wind and silence after a cockpit full of alarms. Below, a gray sea and miles of doubt. On the ships, sailors keep launching and recovering jets because the deck never stops. Combat compresses lifetimes into seconds, and then those seconds echo for years in ready rooms, in briefing slides, and in families who get only the briefest official lines. So did a foreign pilot harass US boats and instantly regret it? If you mean firing a missile at fighters guarding 2 carrier groups operating lawfully, yes. The regret wasn't cinematic, it was operational and final. 2 missiles answered, and the sky went quiet. The open question is what turned that day from chest-out intercepts into a shot. Was it local judgment, misread cues, or policy pressure from above? We may never see the full Libyan side of the record. If this helped you unpack how politics meets physics at 500 knots, like and subscribe for more clear-sourced breakdowns, and drop the next incident you want decoded.